them up at the 5-yard line, and on a 3rd and goal, Yarborough hit Terrell Greer on a touchdown pass to give the Bengals a 6-minute extra point, no good. And that's where we stand now. Benedictine with their 2nd possession of the quarter. They have the football. They're on 45. It is a 3rd down and 7. This 8-yard line, and that's going to be very close to first. Wayne Jackson out of the backfield, and he is able to kind of claw his way to a 1st down. It is a beautiful, beautiful night here in Cuyahoga Falls. Could not have ordered better weather and to be outside. The only thing I'm missing are sunglasses next year. But weather-wise, it's perfect. A fumble on the exchange, and Yarborough's got a ball on it at the 50-yard line. They were trying to fake on the read option, and then Yarborough was looking to throw, but he had a collision in the backfield, lost the ball, and very, very fortunate to fall on it. And the Bengals will maintain possession. We've got 5:20 now to play in this opening quarter. 6-0 Benedictine. This is a playoff rematch from last year. And we were supposed to, crazy things happen, apparently. This is going to be my theory of Tyler Carey. I don't know if he'll subscribe to this or not. Crazy things happen when Benedictine and Walsh Jesuit are scheduled to play on the WKYC game of the week as the pass is dropped back at the 45-yard line. They're trying to screen pass on 3rd down. Antonio Patterson would hang on.
It's 3rd down.
Last year, the two teams met round 2 in Euclid on a Friday night. And as we were getting ready to go, the skies opened up and the game was postponed to Saturday. And unfortunately, we couldn't go back out to Euclid for that game. On 3rd and about 12, Yarborough looks left, throws left, trying to hit Brandon Floyd over the left side. The Warriors, 4th down. Now it is 4th down, and Christian Cora will now come to punt. So the game was replayed last year on a Saturday, and it was an amazing playoff game. I'm just still beside myself and really able to come out here and do the game and go to Euclid. And in that game, the Bengals rallied from being down early. As Torres back to punt from his own 36, gets the kick away, end over end. It will bounce to the 15, goes past a Warrior, and he'll get down inside the 10. For whatever reason, Walsh's, I think it was Kevin Marshall, went back to get it and just kind of misjudged the hop on it and ended up having to let it go. And the Bengals hitting Walsh Jesuit back at about the 6-yard line. That Adel company will have a long way to go as they'll start right about at the 5-yard line. But just finishing that thought from last year, Benedictine rallied and won the game in overtime 27-20. And of course, their prize for that is on 1st down to go on the ground where the Warriors, a nice move by Crenshaw, as he'll get it across the 10, out to the 15, to the 16-yard line, and very close to a 1st down. And a nice piece of open field running by LaShawn Crenshaw. Both teams really had, you can look back and say, well, we could have won that game in regulation. So we go to Crenshaw again, runs left time. This time, not being fooled as he will be cut down behind the line of scrimmage. Very Siggers came in and made the play for the 2-yard loss. Walsh Jesuit drove down after being down in the game. They were down 20-14 in the 4th quarter. Came back and got a touchdown run by Will Rumpel, but missed the extra point, partly because of a celebration penalty. So on 2nd and 12, DeNatale fake handoff, throws over the middle, pass clock, first down to the 30, out to the 35. And then the ball stripped away by Antonio Patterson, and it'll be Benedictine football inside the 3 at the 28-yard line. Christian Uchi made the catch, was streaking ahead for the first down, and Antonio Patterson, defensive back, just stole the football from him. Terrific play by Patterson. 5'8", 185-pound senior comes away with the theft, and it will be Bengal ball at the Walsh 25 with 3:35 to play in this opening quarter. Well, this was something that Nick Alexander, head coach of the Warriors, talked about in that game last year. Far too many turnovers in that loss for the Warriors. And that was a big emphasis for them coming into this year. Clean up the little things. It's what separates you from being where you are to being at the Hogan level. Is it'll be Aurora to throw him first down. Man, wide open at the 5 and in for a touchdown. Oh, the Bengals. It was tight end Terrell Bendictine, who we will call often tonight defensively. He makes an offensive touchdown from 25 yards out. CJ Yarbrough with 2 first-quarter touchdown passes. And the Bengals out in front now, 12-0. Cora, the Holden Yarbrough, will try to get that point back that he missed earlier. But a great start on the road tonight for the Bengals. Extra point is up. Extra point. Good. 3:28 to play here in this first quarter. Let's see, it's almost hard for me to tell here because it's such a nice night out here that what you're seeing here from the field. There you go. 13-0 Bengals. This is the WKYC High School Football Game of the Week. It is presented to you by our friends at Chick-fil-A. We are so proud and so pleased to have Chick-fil-A aboard with us here in 2021. Chick-fil-A is home. The question I have been asked early and often over these last couple of weeks as we've gotten ready for the 2021 season. Dino, how many are you getting a lifetime supply of chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? Dino, all that. I'm just pleased to have them aboard. Chick-fil-A has just been so wonderful to us. And we're happy to have them as part of our high school coverage here in 2021. Now, having said all that, if you'd like to eat one chicken sandwich, I don't think Tyler Carey is. By the way, since we are on the Zoom connection, at some point here in this, we'll try to check in with our guy TC. Oh, good. We are on and functioning, so we'll check in with Tyler. Probably, I don't know if he'll be able to jump into the first quarter. We were getting ourselves situated here for the season, but halftime and rest of the game, we'll check in with TC. We'll have scores around here. This was a hotly contested vote for our game of the week here for tonight. We had obviously this game. We had Avon at Brunswick, and we also had Euclid at Aurora. As kickoff, we're back in action. Will be fielded at the 5-yard line. The turbo, I believe that's Crenshaw. To the 15, breaks the tackle 20. He gets to the 30. One man to beat it. 4. Foot race is on. To the 30, to the 20. Crenshaw gone. Touchdown. 95. No, it was not LaShawn Crenshaw. But it was a flying return. Wow. The license plate number of the young man brought that kick back. Here's Trey Bell. So Bell with a 95-yard kick return for the touchdown. 3:14 to play in this first quarter. Walsh Jesuit on the board. It's now 13-6. Deming for the extra point. Ball is down. Deming's kick is up. Jesuit is good. 95-yard kickoff return from Trey Bell, a 6 foot, 175-pound junior. It's one of those things, unfortunately, when you don't get a chance to kind of spike before the game starts and get everything ready. Sometimes you miss a play. So I do apologize to Mr. Bell, but we will certainly credit him for the touchdown now, as he has gotten his team on the board. 13-7 Benedictine leading here in this first quarter.
We have that touchdown returned by Trey Bell unofficially at 95 yards.
They agree with the spot ahead, 95 yards on that touchdown from Trey Bell. Yeah, you can tell once he got to about the 30, it was he or Christian Cora. And Cora actually, I thought, did a pretty good job kind of forcing Bell to go down to the right sideline. Kind of forcing him to one spot, but he couldn't get quite the angle to make the tackle. And a lot of that's just great speed from Trey Bell. Little pooch kick to the right, and the ball goes through the arms of one of the Bengals. They're going to eat it back at 18. Brandon Robinson with the upset tried to make a catch, a running catch on that short pooch kick. And sometimes coaches are out. Why don't you just kick it off all the down the field and pin a team deep or whatever? Well, sometimes you do that to keep people off sides and kind of off balance, and you set yourself up for a play like that to catch Benedictine off guard. Robinson was able to field that field. The Bengals back to their own 18-11. 3:10 to play first quarter. Happy to have you with us. Year 4 of the WKYC.com high school football game of the week. By Chick-fil-A. Under center, C.J. Yarbrough, 2 touchdown passes for him. Here in the early going, and then on the ground across the 21. Starting shot to 21 to 7-3. The 77 Indiana Brian with Joe McDonald. Pat Morris and Devontae James from left to right on the offensive line. Tonko, Greer, Boyd are your wide receivers. Will Bennington has a touchdown catch. The tight end, William Jackson. Senior quarterback C.J. Yarbrough. This is his first season opener as the starting quarterback. Not his first start. Play fake on 2nd and long. He looks middle, throws middle, has a man there. Pass is deflected at the a lot of air on that ball. And if Ryan Blackwell, the quarterback, come over and make a deflection, it sets up 3rd down and 7. Yarbrough got thrust into action as a junior last year. Was injured early in the season against Austin Town Fish and was never able to return. And the Bengals struggled a little bit, but Yarbrough really found his way towards the end of the season into the playoffs. Little play fake, 3rd and 7. Middle screen, caught at the 25, flag down at the 30 to the 40-yard line. It's Boyd to the 50, down the right side, and it's might all be moved. He's out of bounds. It's out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. But offensive pass interference. Back at the 30 of the Bengals. That's how Brandon Floyd got himself so wide open. This is the first time that I've had a chance to actually do a game here at Walsh Jesuit High School. This is one of the nicer venues you will find anywhere. It's right across the street here in Cuyahoga Falls from Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy, CDCA. Literally across the street. So you say crosstown rivalry.
Next one up to the home 10-yard line.
It's a stone's throw away.
Third down.
That pass interference penalty will move the ball
18.
back to the Bengals 10.
It's
And it's
third
now 3rd
down.
and 18 for the Bengals. Shotgun. He's got 3 wide receivers. And I've heard Nick is going around the Jackson. He'll take it to the
Jackson on the
15-yard
carry
line
to the 15.
as Jackson
We have a
was
flag
going
on
down.
the
A
play.
flag came down. Let's hang on. And it's going to be a face mask against the Warriors. Is it going to be personal foul? That's the question.
Face mask
2:14
for
to
the
play
Warriors.
here in this first quarter. And it is not of the personal foul variety. They're going to move it up to the just shy of the 20-yard line. So it's not an automatic first down. But now, instead of 3rd and 11, actually 3rd and 18, it's now 3rd and 9. So the deficit, so to speak, cut back. All just outside the 20-yard line. Yarbrough to the shotgun. Now he's going to go throw. He's got time. He throws. And the pass is incomplete. At the 32.
Intended for the green.
Thrown a little low. Side judge.
Fourth down. We're going to get that after only on the 21-yard line. Marshall deep for the Warriors.
Will kick it away, and it's going to angle to the right and go inside the 30, go inside the 25 to the 24-yard line.
25-yard line. First and 10, WJ. Walsh Jesuit's annual fundraiser gala will be held this year on Saturday, April 30th. For more information, consult the WJ website. Dino, top your loss. The Warriors win it. Lots of times in the second 15.
All right, so we're doing our best here, just to try to figure out what the problem is. What's that? It's people are having audio issues. Yeah, I don't say. I'm just. take this one off here for now. Nobody needs to see me twice here. Try this. It's the best we can do here.
Well, start on the Warriors. So thank you much, Brian.
All right, so an extra point coming up here for Walsh Jesuit. Try to take the lead. Wish I could tell you how they got the touchdown. I cannot. Extra point.
19 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
19 seconds to go. 14-13 in favor of the Warriors.
Walsh Jesuit Office for Alumni Relations invites you to experience their new podcast series, The Warrior Chronicles.
Unfortunately, Daylight's texting me. I'm using my phone. I can't text back. Wish I could.
To set the world on fire. Take a listen at www.walshjesuit.org/alumni. Taco Beat, ready to kick.
That kick is going to go past Conklin and in the end zone for a touchback. 19.4 seconds to go here in this opening quarter. 14-13 Walsh Jesuit after a sluggish start for the Warriors. Kind of calm themselves. Got a kick return for a touchdown by Trey Bell and a long touchdown just a few minutes ago. And they battled back to take the lead, and now it's Benedictine's turn on offense here. See what they can do. Now, this is kind of what we thought, though, back and forth between these two teams. And on first down, Yarbrough to throw. Looking, throwing, pass is caught. It's Bedingfield at the 25, and he'll run him out of bounds right at the first down marker at the 30. Actually, put him out of bounds. So, yeah, first down.
31-yard line, and 10.
And Bengals. 11.4 seconds to go, and I think the Bengals is going to let this clock wind down and head to the other side here and start that second quarter. A couple of touchdown passes for C.J. Yarbrough and the Bengals.
This is the end of the first period.
And a quick return and a long touchdown for the Warriors. At this point, leaves a missed extra point. 14-13 Warriors.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to remind you that this rooms are located in the concession stand at the south end of the stadium. And you can join us in singing the Walsh Jesuit alma mater immediately following the football huddle at the end of tonight's game. As we start the second quarter, Bengals have it first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
All right, ready to go for, for the second quarter. Yarborough is ready. On the ground, Jackson will get it, running to his right. That's from 35 to the 40, 45, and brought down just shy of the 50-yard line. But pretty good run on first down for Dwayne Jackson. Mark it at the 50-yard line. It'll be a first down. 19 on that game. Team 13, Walsh Jesuit on top of Benedictine here as we start the second quarter. CJ Yarborough goes under center. And doing a draw, here comes Jackson again. The 45 of the Warriors and down to the 44. Got about 6 on first down. Jackson, 5'10", 195 pounds. Junior got a lot of playing time last year. Averaged just under 5 yards a carry, scored 7 touchdowns. 128 yards in 9 games. Short season for everybody because of the pandemic. Yarborough, second and 4, with the throw to it, and hands around, and got taken back to the 47-yard line.
Officially, you have to stop. 88, Noah Black. 13, Zach Rogan. It's third down.
Well, instead of third down, 3rd and 7. From the 47-yard line. Cleared by 47 of the Warriors. Yarborough looks left, throws left for Boyd. Oh, he makes a great catch, and they're going to say he's in bounds. It is a completion to the 24-yard line, a gain of 23. The wide receiver, Brandon Boyd, who did a great job getting 1 foot down over on that left sideline. Well, that is a fine effort. This time, CJ Yarborough is going to go under center. More draw. Getting it is Avon Baker, and Baker goes nowhere. Zach Rogan, Casey Kish, the linebackers, shooting the gaps. Dom Fallon was a player as well for the Warriors to make the play.
Johnson's on the stop for the Warriors.
So the market at the 23, and they're actually going to give Baker 2 yards. 9:31 to go, first half, 14-13 in favor of the Warriors. This time Yarborough will go to the shotgun with 5 wide receivers, including Jackson. He looks left, throws left, pass caught inside the 20. It's at about the 17. Wrestled down by quarterback Ryan Blackman. 17-yard line. Trey Bell was also over there to help out.
It's third down.
Inside 15-yard line. Spotted. 17. Under center Yarborough. They'll get to Jackson on 3rd and 3. Jackson cuts back, gets the first down inside the 10. He is brought down at about the 8-yard line. He first goal there. Josh Rogan, the safety, made the touchdown saving tackle for the moment.
Josh Rogan on the tackle.
Good drive. Response drive by the Bengals. Jackson again. He fumbles the football as he ran to his right, flag down. I think the Warriors got the football. They did. That was officials not stopping either team from changing fields here. And
on the recovery, the number 2, number 8, Josh Hogan.
Brogan on the fumble recovery.
First and 10. Warriors
Now,
under 6.
that may have just been, I thought it was a penalty flag, may have just been a ball marker flag for the turnover there, and it was just literally thrown to the spot. Yeah, I think that's what it was. That there was no penalty on the play or anything. It just looked like it was a penalty flag, but it was just a ball marker to indicate there was a possible fumble on the turnover. Josh Hogan, junior safety, comes away with that fumble recovery, and the Warrior defense gets a big turnover. 15 costly turnovers here in this first half. DeNatale ready to go. First down on the ground. And Crenshaw will fake move
On the carry.
field and then cut to his
Shot for
right.
the loss, back to the flag.
Basically
Second
got
and
back
11.
to the 5, which is a 1-yard loss. 2nd and 11. Bengals defense with 9 new starters this year. Michael Hatcher and Darrell Bedingfield are the only returned starters. So for head coach Jared Good, it's one of those things you're just kind of trying to figure it out here, and you're giving guys their first opportunity to show what they can do in a game.
Around the left side. To the Warriors 7.
And he'll take it out to 7, only getting 2, so it's
Bring
up
up
to
3rd and
9.
9 to the beginning.
7:50 to play here in the first half. 14-13. Walsh Jesuit on top. Or we can get a playoff here. Timeout taken by the Warriors. First timeout for either squad here in the first half will be 3rd and 9 when play resumes.
General Sports Medicine to help you get back in the game. We offer injury care to teens and adults.
Reminder, our WKYC High School Football Game of the Week is presented by Chick-fil-A. Happy to have them aboard here as our partner and our sponsor for high school football. Chick-fil-A, the home of the original sandwich. Reminder to everybody. Monday, when we put the poll in the fields, we're back to the poll with most everybody able to go here, and you're able to go full go game for high school football, giving you an opportunity to decide where we are going to be every Friday night. Give you 3 nominees. You go to WKYC.com to vote. We'll also put it on Facebook and on Twitter. You get 2 days to vote. Wednesday, Tyler Carey and I will let you know where we're going to be. We already know our nominees for next week. I could tell you now, but I'd prefer to keep you in suspense. We've got a couple of good ones. I'll say that every week. Well, we got a couple of good ones for you to vote on. Excited about week 2. Back to action out of the timeout. Walsh Jesuit at their own 7-yard line facing a 3rd and 9 after they just got the fumble recovery by Grogan to stuff a scoring opportunity for Benedictine. Here goes to the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers to each side. Crenshaw on his hip pocket to the right. To throw, DeNatale, flushed, looking, still looking, dumps it out. Pass is caught at the 8-yard line, maybe the 9, just to a safety valve. Kenyon Marshall, well covered by the Bengals. Good downfield coverage by the Bengals. The other thing with Benedictine defensively, we haven't a chance to really talk about it as much as Darrell Bedingfield as the punt is away. It's a short kick, and Butch is going to let it bounce. And it actually took a Bengal bounce inside the Warrior 40, and they'll recover it at about the 36. So Walsh Jesuit gets that turnover, but can't do anything with the football, and the resulting field position was right back to Benedictine. And they'll take over.
Sideline warning
36. We've also got a sideline
on the Bengals.
on Benedictine. .701 to go, first half, 14-13 in favor of the Warriors. Benedictine struck first with a couple of touchdown passes by C.J. Yarbrough. Walsh Jesuit, back-to-back touchdowns, and the only difference in the game is a missed extra point. So after the fumble on their last possession, let's see what the Bengals can do here. As Yarbrough will go under center, they'll send Bedingfield to the motion right. On the ground, they'll go to Baker inside the 35. And Baker will take it to the 33.
Baker on the carry for the Bengals to the Warriors 32-yard line. Actually, they're marking at the 31.
Actually, we're marking at 31.
Second and 2.
Zach Grogan on stop the Warriors. This is one of the best 4 years of doing having a WKYC.com game of the week. Weather-wise, this is the best we've had. Picture perfect. Baker gets the carry again inside the 30, inside the 26. And should have a first down. The area one may expect holding. That could be his case. By the way, Walsh's defense, Noah Brock, J.P. Fida, the defensive ends, Tyron Rogers, the nose, Brock Sherman, Casey Kish, Zach Grogan, Jack Romanini are the linebackers, Josh Campagna, and Brian Blackwell, the corners, Charlie Cooper, and Josh Grogan, the safeties.
Brings it back to the Warrior 38-yard line.
So that holding penalty will take it back to the Warrior 38. Instead of a first down, it's going to be second and 11. Halfway point of this first half, of this first quarter, of the second quarter. It's evening is going. Now at least the sun is going down. I'm outside today, as you can imagine here in the beautiful crowd. The sun is beautiful as Yarbrough looks to throw, flushed. He's going to tuck and run to the 35. Ooh, he got up and at the 32-yard line.
Side to the Warrior 32-yard line.
Tackle by Brock Sherman of Walsh Jesuit. By C.J. Yarbrough. And it's a third down. 6 minutes of play here in the second quarter. Getting some more manageable down here for the Bengals. Baker stands to left the yard. Quick drop. Looks. Throws right. Half snacked away. And almost intercepted. Well anticipated and well defended by the Warriors. So that was Blackwell, who almost timed it beautifully with the interception. So fourth down and 6 at the 32. Bengals. Too long for a field goal, too short for the punt. Yarbrough was open. Blitz, fire, pass, Walsh Jesuit. Trying to throw it in the double traffic there. And give the ball back to the Warriors. And Walsh with 2 timeouts left here in the second quarter will take over at their own 32, leading 14-13. Ready to go. 75-pound senior. Looks right, throws right. Crenshaw's got it. And Crenshaw will get the down right at the line of scrimmage, out in the right flat. Pretty good open field tackle for the Bengals. Makes said tackle is Mike Hatcher. No longer 29, now is number 8. He's tackle on that play. 2nd and 10. So the pass is no gain with Crenshaw. Nato will go with 4 wide receivers. Sends Bell in motion, flips the Bell in the backfield. Down he goes back to the 23. Terrific play by Kareem Jennings. Came in from the defensive line to stop the play. Jennings, 6'4", 230 pounds, is only a sophomore. He did a great job of anticipating and staying home. Right when Bell kind of tried to turn the outside, Jennings was waiting for that fine tackle by the sophomore. 3rd and 18, his first TFL. Nato will throw, pressured again, rolls right, tries to set up shot downfield. Pass is caught. And the 38-yard line, that's going to be short of the first down.
Approaching at the 38-yard line, there is a flag down on the play.
Pass was caught by Ochi. It would be 4th down. About 5.
Personal foul, roughing the passer is a call against the Bengals.
Roughing the passer against the Bengals.
First and 10 Warriors at the Bengal 47-yard line.
So excited after that TFL. I wonder if he was the one who made the play. I don't know. In any case, whoever it was, it will give Walsh Jesuit an automatic first down and put the ball into Bengal territory at their own 47-yard line. 4:03 to play, 2nd quarter. Walsh 14, Benedictine 13. Now the Warriors with new life here on that automatic first down. They play it, looking, throwing over the middle, pass caught the 41st down to the 35.
Complete to Washington to the Bengal 35-yard line with a first down.
13 on that completion and another first down. 2 receivers each side before we get set up.
Flag on the play.
Flag from the far sideline. It's Warriors going to move forward here. That's up to 15-yard variety down to the 20-yard line.
Unfortunately, time to call against the Bengals. Takes it down to the 50.
That's a gap.
First and 10 Warriors.
I do believe it's the sideline warning there. He got the warning, so put the ball at the 20 here, and that is the second 15-yard penalty on this drive by the Bengal defense. From the 20, Dino gives and takes it down to the 15-yard line.
Down to the Benedictine 15-yard line, 2nd and 5.
90 pounds. You got to carry on that particular play. Picked up 5. Crenshaw will move out in the slot. So you got 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right, and then Remmer in the backfield to the left of Nader. Under 3 minutes to play here in the 2nd quarter. We've got one more whistles.
Timeout. Benedictine.
This time the Bengals will take a timeout. It's their first of this second half of the second quarter. Team 13 here at Walsh Jesuit High School. The Warriors leading the Bengals. This is one of the great matchups parochial schools in Northeast Ohio. But it's been a one-sided matchup from the standpoint of Walsh Jesuit and the fact that the Bengals have won the last 7 meetings, including last year's playoff game. So much incentive, obviously, for both teams. But if you think about the Walsh Jesuit, they're going to start the year off right. I think this is an elevation type year for them. And you want to just get that Benedictine jinx off of you and finally figure out a way to beat these guys. It's pretty hard to do. Out of the timeout from the 15, middle screen, caught Crenshaw for 10, and he slides out of bounds at about the 8-yard line.
First set of balls at the Benedictine 7-yard line.
Catch by
It'll be first straight goal for the Warriors.
Crenshaw getting thrust into the lead running back duties because last year's leading rusher is out for the season because of injury. But between Crenshaw, Jack Rumanini, and Justin Bremner, they really do feel like here at Walsh that they can keep the pressure going here and keep the good play going as they go on the ground to Bremner. He'll plow ahead to about 2 to the 6-yard line.
Second
Brought down at that particular point, tackle made on the play by Devontae James. Play first half. Point lead for the Warriors. Trying to add on here. Second and goal from the 6. Crenshaw out. And Romanini is in. T formation, look in the backfield. They'll go to Bremner, to the 5, to the 4, to the 3-yard line, and then he's finally pushed back. Beddingfield bring him down. After that initial 3-yard surge, it'll be 3rd and goal at the 3-yard line.
Timeout, Bengals.
Timeout again by the Bengals. They've got 1 remaining. So no matter what happens here on 3rd and goal, when the Bengals get the ball back, they'll have 1 timeout remaining. Parlayed a long pass from C.J. Yarbrough to Marvin Kunkel into a touchdown pass to Terrell Greer. And then Yarbrough also with a TD pass to Darrell Beddingfield. Warriors got a kick return after that touchdown to Beddingfield. Kickoff return by Trey Bell. They added another touchdown here in the 2nd quarter. And lo and behold, we've got ourselves a football game. Walsh with a 1-point lead, trying to add on here on 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. Plainly see now the sun going down here in Cuyahoga Falls. Opening Friday night, there were quite a few games last night. I was noticing around Ohio. Start the season on Thursday. Friday night. Crenshaw's back in there in that T look here for Walsh Jesuit. 3rd and goal. Fake handoff. Nadel looks left, throws left, end zone. Touchdown. Picking up right where he left off last year. That's a good job by Matt Nadel to buy himself time and throw it to a spot over on the left side of the end zone where only his receiver could get it. So it's now 20-13. And maybe I saw the official motion of a man downfield. Moving the ball back to the 8-yard line.
5-yard penalty on the Warriors.
5-yard penalty on the Warriors. So
too
many men on the field, so wipe out the touchdown. And we'll do it again at 3rd and goal. No, wait a minute. Or was there too many men on the field for the extra points? I'm not exactly sure, and the officials aren't actually sure. Now they're pointing at the scoreboard. The yard marker says it's third down. So now I think Nick Alexander wants an explanation. Yeah, take the touchdown off the board. That's okay. It's part of the problem sometimes when you don't have officials microphone like you do in college or in the NFL. The official can't say, wipe out the touchdown and everything. You have to kind of guess. And sometimes one's never sure. All right, so everybody's now on the same page, and it's still 14-13 Walsh Jesuit. And now it is a 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line. DeNatale in the pistol. Crenshaw to his right, pumping once, in trouble back at the 15, throws it just kind of up for grabs, incomplete. Josh Campagna was the man to the football, put the pressure from Devontae James to force that pass, and on 4th down, we will see a field goal attempt for the Warriors as Ryan Deming will come in to attempt what would be a 24-yard field goal. Is that penalty for 12 men on the field? Teams.
Number is pass intended for Greer is wide, and the next 2nd down.
All right, we were gone there for a second. Now we are back with 1:11 to go here in this 2nd quarter. And the Bengals, I wish you could have seen, I could have described Brandon Boyd's catch. It was pretty amazing.
Marshall is dropping hit the Warriors. For the point.
All right, ready to go back here with a minute 2 to go before halftime. And the Bengals, despite getting the missed field goal, will have to settle for punt. We'll have punt here in the box. Warriors just able to get it away. Punt will go inside the 20 to about the 15-yard line to the 14-yard line. And 53 seconds to go. That is where we will take over. First down, Warriors going to run it here to Crenshaw. He'll take it out to the 22 with 45 seconds to go. And Walsh does not look like they're in a hurry here to get themselves going for the second half here. So imagine we'll probably head to halftime. We will greet you back here. We're going to step away here at halftime and get ourselves resituated here. And then we will rejoin you for the second half. Testing. Pass is incomplete. They're trying to get it out to 8.5 seconds to go. And looks to be now the final play. Yeah, they may try to.
Warrior first down at the
50. Now Matt DeNatale has an opportunity here for a Hail Mary with his wide receivers. So it's made the process here, I think, a little more interesting. Let's put it that way. Last gasp here this first half. And DeNatale is going to be in trouble, and down he goes. That'll end the half as he is sacked back at the 48-yard line. Do it. First half. All right. Reach you back here in a little bit, everyone. Your halftime score 14-13.
of the Benedictine High School Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, during this past year, Panic at the Disco brought us high hopes.
At it now. Let me see it. Data usage cycle ends 8/20/21. No. Like literally. Holy shit. You gotta be,
For their second selection, the Benedictine High School Marching Band would like to play Centuries from Flower.
yeah, I mean, when it says data usage cycle ends, will a new one start tomorrow? I don't know. No, I don't either. Shouldn't make a difference.
personnel off the football field, please. Ladies and
What I
gentlemen,
may do is see if we can get it.
under the direction of Mr. David Banks, assistant coordinator Courtney Martin. Please welcome the Walsh Jesuit Warriors. The Warrior Corps presents their Salute to the Dino show. First selection will be a medley of Magical Mystery Tour and Lady
No,
Dino.
we'll have to solve that issue later, but, yep. Yeah, would you brief Denise for me, just because she texted me, I was there, obviously, it's like, you know, I'd love to talk to you, I can't talk to you, so, yeah, just kind of let her know what's going on, that we've got a good solution for the second half, and we'll figure it out from there. As soon as Walsh Jesuit band wraps up. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna, yeah, okay, bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, for their next selection, the Warrior Corps features their color gun on the Fab Four's big hit, I Saw Her Standing There. all the fans here tonight for your support. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, give it up for the Walsh Jesuit Warrior Club.
Well, I'll tell you what, it feels really nice to have a halftime now with both bands being able to perform. It feels like we're back to normal, and I hope in terms of our coverage now, it's back to normal for the rest of the night. Welcome back, everyone, to Walsh Jesuit High School. Hope you enjoyed the halftime bands performing. I'm Dave DeNatale. It is our WKYC.com high school football game of the week, and at the half, the host Walsh Jesuit Warriors lead the Benedictine Bengals 14-13, and starting to get scores from around the area, and we'll kind of recap what we've had here in this one so far. And my thanks to Tyler Carey, to Matt Hine, Denise Polverine, Chris Coons. If I left anybody out to get us back on and get us rolling, I apologize, everybody. It's a team effort, and we troubleshoot, we figure it out, and here we go. Halftime scores. Aurora is on top of Euclid 42-21. That's a halftime score. Now, from what I understand, and getting the texts, I love Friday nights, man. Everybody texts you with scores. It was a 7-7 game up at Veterans Stadium at the end of the first quarter between the Greenmen and the Panthers. Aurora scored 21 unanswered to go up to 28-7 with 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. So, by that logic, each team then, with 7 minutes to go, scored 14 points, and it's 42-21. But that's your halftime score, Greenmen and Panthers. Avon on top of Brunswick, 17-0. That's the third quarter score. Those two games I just read off to you, those were the other two nominees, and we'll talk more about that here as we go for our WKYC.com game of the week. But Avon, I'm not surprised that Avon is leading Brunswick, but I am surprised the Blue Devils are being shut out. The offense was pretty impressive, especially their ability to run the ball and kind of grind things out, but at this point being shut out by the Eagles in the third quarter. Hudson leads Solon 21-14, that's at the half. Nordonia on top of Bedford, halftime score 28-18. Willoughby South shutting out Notre Dame Cathedral Latin 31-0 at the half. Over at Pat Catan Stadium, Strongsville is trailing Avon Lake. I can't remember the last time Strongsville and Avon Lake played. I love that they're playing Division I versus Division II. Shoreman, though, leading 14-3 at the half. And Menor, the Cardinals, going into Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. I almost said Tom Brown, as in combining McKinley and Maslin. I can't do that. Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Cardinals leading Canton McKinley 35-7 at the half. And it's been well documented. And Tyler Carey and I, by the way, the score is courtesy of one Mr. TC. Tyler Carey and I talked about it Wednesday. If you had a chance to catch our preview show at WKYC.com, or also on YouTube. It's only been about 6 weeks or so for the Bulldogs since their coaching staff was let go. Their entire coaching staff was let go in that controversy. So, I mean, everything has been kind of done on the fly for the Bulldogs. It's a rough night tonight, but give it time to see if they kind of calm themselves down as the season progresses and can kind of figure things out going forward. But a tough start certainly for McKinley tonight, and facing one of the top teams in the state in the Menor Cardinals. All right, here in our game of the week, Walsh Jesuit leading Benedictine 14-13 as halftime continues. This is a rematch of a playoff game we were set to do last year in round 2 of the playoffs over in Euclid.
was great. We were all set. I mean, I had everything set up in Euclid. We're ready to go. 2 terrific teams, 2 arch rivals, playoff game. Let's do it. And unfortunately, the skies opened up and the game was postponed. We had to wait until Saturday to play that game. And unfortunately, we weren't able to be there for that game. But it was Benedictine rallying after being down early to Walsh Jesuit. They held off a rally by the Warriors, went to overtime, and won it 27-20. And of course, their prize for winning that game for the Bengals, a date with Hoban, which is never easy. But both these 2 teams, Walsh and Benedictine, feel like they've closed the gap with Hoban. Both teams in the regular season last year took Hoban to the limit. Now, to the Knights' credit, they won them, both games. But the hope is that they've elevated themselves to the point where when they play Hoban, they feel like they've got a realistic shot to win that game and to maybe unseat them as the premier Division II team alongside Massillon in this part of the state. Time will tell as the season progresses, but both these teams, Walsh Jesuit and Benedictine, will have to play Archbishop Hoban before the postseason begins. So that'll be something to watch, and who knows, maybe that might be a Game of the Week nominee. Now, if you are unaware, we welcome everybody in again to the WKYC High School Football Game of the Week. We are presented here in 2021 by our friends at Chick-fil-A. Yes. Chick-fil-A, home of the original chicken sandwich. If you're unfamiliar with our format, getting a chance to really kind of listen and understand what we do, it's a play-by-play webcast that you're hearing yours truly do. My man Brian Crane is kind of the eyes down on the field. He does a great job for us with the game, recording it, and you'll see highlights tonight at 11 on Channel 3 News, What's Next, and you'll also see them on WKYC.com and on Instagram, YouTube, etc. Brian does a great job with the highlight package. But that's part of what we offer. We give you a chance to decide where we're going to be each week. Monday, we put the story out at WKYC.com, and you have the opportunity to vote. There we go. Here, I'm going to move something here. That's better. We give you a chance to vote at WKYC.com. We give you 3 game nominees for that Friday night. You've got 2 days to vote at WKYC.com. You can also vote on Twitter. We put the link to voting on Twitter, on Facebook, and also on Instagram. You go out there, you vote, and then Wednesday we let you know where we're going to go. We've got 3 nominees already set up for week 2. I believe Nick Camino will let you know on Indians Tonight on Sunday night, kind of as a little sneak preview, and then we'll put the story out there for you Monday to vote. But we already know where our nominees are, and I will say it every week. We're looking forward to it for next week. We've got some good ones for you. We've got some exciting games for you. We'll wait and see how it all plays itself out. But we're happy to be here tonight here in Cuyahoga Falls at Walsh Jesuit High School. I was saying earlier, one of the really interesting things about this setting is we're literally across the street from another high school, Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy, CVCA. You're literally a stone's throw away from another school. So you've heard of crosstown rivalries. I mean, really, it is cross-street rivalry. CVCA, a smaller school than Walsh Jesuit, but really cool that they're that close in proximity to each other. It used to be like that when St. Peter's Chanel was in existence, and it was on the same street on Northfield Road as Bedford High School. I mean, I don't get that all that often, but it's cool when you have that kind of a proximity between schools. Probably not cool if you're a bus driver or you're a parent trying to get your kid to school with the morning traffic, but pretty cool when you think about it. 2 teams are making their way on the field here to get themselves ready for the second half, and in this game, Benedictine struck first. They took the opening drive down, and a C.J. Yarbrough to Marvin Conkle pass set them up at the 5-yard line. It was a long pass while we were getting ourselves situated here for the broadcast, and that drive culminated on a Yarbrough touchdown pass to Terrell Greer. Later in the first quarter, Bengals strike again after a turnover. C.J. Yarbrough hits Darrell Bedingfield, his tight end, for the touchdown. The extra point on that first score was no good, and it was 13-0 Bengals. And you're sitting here going, well, this is not what we thought we were going to see. But Trey Bell really emotionally and from a scoreboard perspective got Walsh Jesuit back in the game. He took the ensuing kickoff back 95 yards for a touchdown. Extra point good. And then the Warriors struck again in the second quarter for another touchdown to grab a 14-13 lead. Now, both teams have had opportunities for additional scores. Benedictine fumbled inside the 10. Josh Grogan pounced on it when it looked like the Bengals were about to retake the lead. And then before halftime, Walsh Jesuit, thanks to a couple of Benedictine penalties, drove down the field and had gotten what appeared to be a Matt Nadal, I should say, touchdown pass to Christian Ochi, but there were 12 men on the field, wipe out the touchdown, and then on the ensuing field goal attempt from 24 yards, Ryan Deming missed it wide right. So that is how we are still at 14-13 to start this second half, but at least from a Warriors perspective, they'll start the second half with the football. So, but just going back, just a couple of the thoughts on those scores that Tyler Carey gave us here as we're ready to get things rolling. It's interesting, there are some new coaches in the area tonight, notably Euclid and Solon. I mean, it has been a long time since Jim McQuaid was not the head coach at Solon High School. Jim is still the athletic director up there. And Jeff Rotsky, I don't know. I got to get in touch with Jeff. I have no idea what Jeff Rotsky is doing. I can't imagine him being comfortable on a Friday night, not being on the sidelines. And I go back with Jeff a long way. I mean, Maple Heights, Cleveland Heights, Euclid, successful everywhere he's been, but not coaching tonight. Also, quick shout out to my man Mark Munch Bishop, who is doing well and back on the air, actually, back working on the radio. But he said he was going to tune in tonight and listen. He's been a summer recovering from surgery, and he's doing well. And again, he's back on the air, which is a great thing. As we are ready to go for the second half, that kickoff's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Bell will go to the 20. He's loose again, 25. Got a block to the 30. Cuts inside 35. Still on his feet and finally knocked out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. But another good kick return by Trey Bell. A.J. Slemick on the tackle in coverage for the Bengals. Yeah, Munch said he'd be listening tonight. Munch loves these parochial type games. And you can often see before, if he's covering one of the games, whether it's Hoban or in our case tonight, Benedictine and Walsh Jesuit, he helps participate sometimes in the prayers. So thinking about you tonight, Munch, and look forward to having you back at a high school game real soon. We start the second half. Warriors leading by a point, 14-13. They've got the ball after the Bell kick return now. 1st and 10 at their own 38. Matt Nadal will send men in motion. 5 receivers. Quick throw on first down. And it is Marshall on the catch to the 40. He'll go forward to about the 44-yard line. Bedingfield there to knock him out of bounds. But Kenyon Marshall in a pretty good first half will get the ball out to the 44. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot. And Tyler Carey, this is why Tyler Carey keeps me honest. Jeff Rotsky is not having a night off tonight. He's the new head coach at CVCA, at Villa Angelo St. Joe's. That's right, I forgot, for Elvis Gerbach. And VASJ is leading CVCA 24-6 at halftime, the aforementioned CVCA. Everything kind of comes around as Crenshaw gets the carry on second down, and he'll cross the 50 to the 49-yard line and a first down for the Warriors. So everything comes around. I bring something up. Tyler Carey is the man on the spot, mentions that Jeff Rotsky is back coaching. I'll tell you what, we're going to have to look at VASJ as a nominee for a game this year, because he's going to turn them around real quick. He is a program changer. He's one of those kinds of coaches. 5 receivers here for DeNatale, and Crenshaw gets that first down pickup now to the Bengal 48. Bengals show blitz. DeNatale will throw left side. Crenshaw makes the next move at the 45. He's to the 40, 35, to the 30. Flag down as LaShawn Crenshaw goes down at the 30. That's an 18-yard pickup pending the penalty. And this one apparently, you'll count the catch, but I think there's going to be a penalty on the Warriors, maybe a block down field to help spring Crenshaw. I think that's the case. So they'll mark the penalty back from the 30-yard line. And 10 yards from the actual. Well, I thought they had a flag down at the 30, but apparently they're going to mark it back to the 43-yard line. Okay. So it's going to be a 1st and 5 instead of back at the 43 instead of a 1st and 10 at around the 30. Again, 5 wide for the Warriors. 2 to the left, 3 to the right. Matt DeNatale, quick drop, throws. Crenshaw again to the 40. Looks for a block downfield. Got it from Bell to the 30, to the 28-yard line, and a first down. This time, no penalties. And Trey Bell made a terrific block downfield to help spring LaShawn Crenshaw, who will get a reward of a quick breather as Justin Bremner will check in. 10:09 to play, third quarter. Walsh Jesuit 14, Benedictine 13. Dave DeNatale with you on the WKYC.com High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Chick-fil-A. DeNatale looks over at his head coach Nick Alexander and has the signal ready to go. And he looked like he was going to hand to Bremner, keeps it, runs left, and got tripped up at the 22-yard line. And as he was brought down, and I think it was Bedingfield who brought him down, a flag came down. And there's going to be a holding penalty on Walsh Jesuit. It's a read option with DeNatale and Bremner. It just looked like it was an extra second for DeNatale to decide to keep it, and it gave the appearance of a busted play. The problem wasn't that it was a busted play, there was a penalty downfield. So that holding penalty will march it back to the 34-yard line and make it 1st and long, 1st and 16.
1st and 16 from the Bengal 33.
As DeNatale will get the play call, no huddle. He gets the play call and everybody's already lined up here, and then he calls it out from the line of scrimmage. From the shotgun, 1st and 16. And fake to Bremner, back to throw DeNatale, shoots one over the middle, and intercepted at the 12-yard line, out to the 20 to the 25-yard line, and then pushed back there. And I think that was Michael Hatcher on the interception. And then clear case, DeNatale overshot his man going down the left seam. And I think he was looking for Bell. And that interception will actually spot it at the 27 and call it 1st and 10 from there. And the second turnover of this football game for Walsh Jesuit. And I mentioned earlier, that's something, when these two teams played last year, that was something that Nick Alexander talked about after the game. He said, we can't make penalties like that against this Bengal team. And, for the second time tonight, in an inopportune time, Walsh coughs it up. That time on an interception. Earlier, there was a fumble. Under center, Yarborough turns, gives to Jackson on 1st down. He'll cross the 30, and Dwayne Jackson will take it out to the 32-yard line. Give him 5 on 1st down. Linebacker Casey Kish, one of the better linebackers in this part of the area. makes the tackle. Had 2.5 sacks, 8 TFLs last year in 7 games for Walsh Jesuit. Yarborough started under center. Now he backpedaled. Now he'll go under center Joe McDonald on 2nd and 5. Again, they'll go to Jackson on the ground, and Jackson will take it to the 35 for a gain of 3. He sets up a 3rd down and 2. Clock running, 8:35 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Warriors 14, Bengals 13 on a 3rd and 2 coming up. Bengals going to bring in an extra tight end, Kareem Jennings, who we already saw make a great play on defense earlier, but now you have Jennings and Bedingfield. Bedingfield is your 2 tight ends. 3rd and 2, under center Yarborough. Jackson, the deep man in the backfield, gets the handoff and gets knocked down for a loss back at the 33-yard line. Well read by the Warriors. Grogan was in there. Mason Bailey was in there. When I say Grogan, Zach Grogan was in there. I think J.P. Fida was also in there as well for Walsh Jesuit. Brings up a 4th down and 4, and we'll see Christian Cora in to punt it away. Nice defensive stand, though, after the turnover by the Warriors. As Cora will kick it to Kenyon Marshall. Marshall in single safety at his own 35-yard line. Good snap. And Cora gets the kick away, and this is his best effort of the night. Marshall will make the fair catch at his own 32-yard line. So it'll be a 1st and 10 from that spot for the Warriors with 7:14 to play here in this 3rd quarter. As we said earlier, the road to your pathway in Division II, Region 5, and for that matter, any region in Division II, especially in this part of Northeast Ohio, takes you through Archbishop Hoban. And Hoban's got to play a couple of out-of-state or out-of-area opponents to start things out, as Tyler Carey and I talked about the other day. But both these teams are going to get their shot at Hoban here at some point in the regular season. First down, Natal's pass is caught at the 31-yard line and going out to the 37-yard line was Kenyon Marshall. They're actually going to give him a favorable spot out to the 40. So give him 8. I thought they were going to give him about 6 on the catch, but he gets 8, and it'll be 2nd down and 2. And Natal on 2nd and short, going to roll right, throw right, pass caught, 1st down. Campagna has it, and he'll be run out of bounds just shy of the 50-yard line. Campagna, 5'10", 180-pound senior. And they'll mark him out at the 49-yard line of the Warriors, but a fresh set of downs for Walsh as we approach the midway part of this 3rd quarter in a 14-13 Walsh Jesuit lead. As Natal will throw left that time, and pass was about to be caught, and then you've got a big tackle by Michael Hatcher, but the problem is when Hatcher made the tackle, he also did some taunting, and that's going to cost Benedictine dearly. And there's also, I think the young man who tried to make that catch was slow to get up. So you do a great job on that quick out to stuff the play for incomplete, but you do a little too much talking and demonstrative action there, and you end up costing your team. The other problem right now for the Bengals is, I'm looking around, Darrell Bedingfield is down on the field in what every indication is cramping, and they're trying to get him, first thing, shake out that right leg, but also get him hydrated. So you've got a down player for each team while the officials sort out the penalty. But by count, I believe that is the 3rd or 4th 15-yard penalty tonight on the Bengals. Unsportsmanlike conduct is the call, as we figured as much. Bedingfield has his helmet off, and again, fairly sure that the only problem with Durrell is that he's cramping. They're just trying to make sure he's okay before they get him over. Now, other side of the field, the Warrior that was shaken up, and it was Crenshaw, at least I think. Trying to read number 3 or number 5, if you can guess here. The numbers are in a kind of a weird font. It was Campagna that was actually the one who made that catch. Yeah, the font is not helpful to read from up here, but it was Josh on the catch. He appears to be okay, but he's going to have to come out of the game here, at least for the moment, make sure he's okay after that big hit. Bedingfield is still down on his back, because when you're cramping, the one thing you don't want to do is get up and rush too quickly, because then you have the opportunity to pull, unfortunate opportunity to pull a muscle. So they'll be very, very cautious here with Durrell and get him up on his feet. Bedingfield, one of the best linebackers in all of the state of Ohio, is a commit, and he's trying to jog off the field. Don't jog, Durrell, just walk. Just walk. There you go. He's off the field now. I just laugh because the young man wants to get off. He wants to get himself stretched out and back into the game. He's headed to the University of Toledo. He is a commit for the Rockets. He is going to be a superb MAC player. So Walsh Jesuit now, after that penalty, will have the ball at the Bengal 38-yard line, and they'll go on the ground on first down. Here comes Romanini with the carry. Romanini gets the first down inside the 25, and Jack Romanini, a senior back, might be his first carry, at least the first carry that I've called from him tonight, and he takes it to the 21-yard line, and another Warrior first down. So you've got a backfield now with all of their tailbacks, Crenshaw, Romanini, and Bremner. And this time it's Crenshaw getting the carry. He'll get positive yardage to about the 20. They may actually give him the 19. About a yard and a half, and that's really about it. Anthony Iliano makes the tackle for the Bengals. Again, keeping an eye on that Benedictine bench. The check on Durrell Bedingfield. Very, very important part of this team. Second down and 9. This time they'll go to Romanini running to his right inside the 20. And Jack will take it down to the 17-yard line. Got 3, and it sets up a third down and 6. Gabe Gardner was about to check in at wide receiver, and Nick Alexander said, nope, come on back out. So they'll stay with that 3-back look. Well, no, as I say that, now Crenshaw will come out. And Walsh, for blocking purposes, will bring in Casey Kish. Third down and 6 from the Bengal 17-yard line for Walsh Jesuit, leading by a point with 5:11 to go in the third quarter. And the Warriors going to have to burn a timeout. I was about to look down and see the play clock here. It was running down. There was confusion before that play even started. You had wide receivers and backs not sure who was supposed to be in there, and finally they just had to burn a timeout. But, this is a critical part of the game here in this third quarter. You're leading 14-13. You want to add on to the lead, and you don't want to put yourself in a position where you take yourself out of field goal range either. So Nick Alexander takes that timeout, first timeout for either team here in this second half. As we mentioned, and since we're having some technical problems earlier in the game, a big welcome and a big thank you to Chick-fil-A, the WKYC High School Football Game of the Week here in 2021. It is presented to you by Chick-fil-A, home of the original chicken sandwich in Cleveland, Akron, and in Canton. No, to people who have asked, I am not getting a lifetime supply of chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A as a result of this partnership. This is not Willy Wonka, but as I joke, anybody from Chick-fil-A wants to give me one chicken sandwich, I will not say no to that. But we're so pleased to have them with us as a partnership, and really appreciative of their support for what we do here to bring you high school football coverage in Northeast Ohio. So out of the timeout, Warriors now facing 3rd and 6 from the Benedictine 17-yard line, and Natal's going to keep it. Runs left, cuts inside to the 15, puts his head down, and will be about a yard shy of the first down to about the 13-yard line, but he needed to get to the 12. Looked like Simmons was over there on the tackle, and Jennings for the Bengals. 4th and 1. Kish will stay in, and he and Romanini in the backfield. Next to Natal, 4th and 1. Romanini gets the carry, and he'll get the first down as he plunges forward to the 10-yard line. So Jack Romanini's had a couple of good carries on this drive for the Warriors. It'll be 1st and goal just inside the 10. This has been a good clock time sustaining drive. Easy for me to say. 1st and goal. Natal fake handoff. Rolls left. Looks back of the end zone. Incomplete. Was trying to get it to Bell back there, but had to throw it off his back foot as that late pressure was coming in. Ryan Konechny was applying some pressure. And it'll be 2nd and goal. We've got an official's timeout. And I think this is as a result of, and Benningfield's back in the game, by the way, but as a result of the cramping, you do see this early in the season. Sometimes officials will take a pause somewhere around that halfway point of a quarter and let everybody get hydrated a little bit. And coaches will take it. It's like a free timeout. Announcers will take it. It's a free water break, especially when you don't have live commercials during a game. So it works out well for everybody. But good to be back here for our 4th season of the WKYC.com High School Football Game of the Week. And we were able to do one way or another. It's the mail must go through, the game must be called, and we figure out ways to do it. And we appreciate everybody's patience tonight, and just happy to be here. It's a beautiful night in Cuyahoga Falls. I said earlier, for our year 4, I don't think we've had a better opening night of weather than we had tonight. No clouds were in the sky. I mean, we're outside tonight here for the broadcast, and temperatures at kickoff were in the mid-70s. Couldn't have asked for better weather. Because usually in August and September, I have that one Friday where we're all watching the skies, because not only is there rain in the forecast, but there's severe weather in the forecast. And I'll send Betsy Kling and Matt Wintz and Matt Standridge and Holly Strano a thank you note for the weather. Keeping it nice for us tonight. So out of the officials' timeout, it'll be a 2nd and goal for the Warriors. 4:16 to play in the 3rd quarter. Walsh Jesuit 14, Benedictine 13. 14 unanswered points here for the Warriors after the Bengals struck first with a couple of Yarborough first quarter touchdown passes to lead 13-0. And both teams have had numerous opportunities and have failed to cash in. Let's see if the Warriors can do so here on 2nd down and goal. Trips right, one receiver left. Crenshaw stands to the left of quarterback Matt Natal. Natal gets that snap. He's ready to throw. He rolls right. Now looks back left. Chased. Throws. And incomplete. And Matt Natal very fortunate. That one was an intercepted. Crenshaw was his intended target, but he was throwing that off his back foot, and James Phillips had an opportunity to make the interception. He had a diving attempt for it, and it sets up a 3rd down. But the Bengals, again, with good pressure in the backfield. You just don't get a lot of time to throw against Benedictine. And that's been whether Kareem Jennings has put pressure tonight, whether we've seen Devontae James back there, or certainly Bedingfield. 3rd and goal from just inside the 10. Natal to throw, pressured again, and down he goes at the 21-yard line. That time, it was Louis Terry who came in and made the sack from his defensive tackle spot. I mean, Louis Terry just got his helmet, top of his helmet hit by the officials as a way to say, nice job. 4th and goal from the 20-yard line. Walsh Jesuit just going to go ahead and go for it here. And before they do, somebody moved on the line, and I think it was a Warrior. False start. Now it's going to be 4th and goal from the 25. But we just said a moment ago, you just don't get a lot of time against the Bengals, and somebody missed an assignment and it allowed the backfield to get in there quickly. I think Siggers was coming in, and it was Terry who made the sack. You cannot miss an assignment against these guys. They're too fast. 4th and goal from the 25. Natal looks, steps up, and he's going to get sacked again back at the 30. Nowhere to go. Devontae James was amongst those back there. And I saw Siggers back there as well. Turnover on downs just when it looked like Walsh was ready to score. A pair of sacks thwarts the drive, and the Bengals will take over at their own 30. Walsh has had, I think their last 2 or their last 3 possessions have been inside the 10, and they have not been able to score. And keep in mind, they also missed a field goal late in that second quarter. I mean, at some point, these missed opportunities could really come back to backfire against them. But to this point, the Warrior defense has been able to hold on to this 1-point lead. Yarbrough ready to go now from his own 30. 1st down, and it'll be Jackson getting the carry, and he'll go to his right, plunge ahead to the 33-yard line for a gain of 3. Casey Kish down there to make the stop. 2nd down and 7 as we go into 3 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Tyler Carey will have scores for us as we start the 4th quarter and let you know what else is happening around the area in high school football. As Yarbrough under center and sets up a reverse, but he fakes the reverse, throws it deep right side looking for Boyd. He's open, got it at the 20 to the 15-yard line, and he will finally be wrestled down at about the 8-yard line. Everybody thought, including me for a moment, that C.J. Yarbrough gave it to Marvin Conkle on a reverse. Instead, he held on and hit Brandon Boyd for a huge gainer to the 8-yard line. And I want to say that was either Campagna or Grogan, Josh Grogan, who prevented the touchdown. But as it stands, the way both these teams have struggled to kind of punch in opportunities, that could turn out to be huge. 1st and goal, Bengals at the 8. As they'll go to Jackson, and very little, if any, running room. Might have gotten a yard, and that's about it. 2nd and goal. Man, both these teams have kind of gotten down this far, and then they struggle to punch it in. And looks like there's a Benedictine offensive lineman who is cramping up a little bit, was able to get off the field, but the Bengals have to get another offensive lineman in there, and they got to hurry. They got 15 seconds on the play clock. Down to 10, down to 9, down to 8. They're going to have to burn a timeout here. 5, 4, 3, 2, timeout. So that offensive lineman who was cramping up, and I didn't see who it was, by the time they figured out who needed to go in there to replace him, there just was not enough time on the play clock. So the Bengals will burn a timeout, each team now with 2 timeouts remaining here in the second half. 1:27 to go. It'll be 2nd and goal, Bengals. And they actually said Jackson got no gain on that last play, so it'll be 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Now, this was a good week for voting. We brought back our voting for our game of the week. And Benedictine and Walsh Jesuit was going mano-a-mano with Euclid and Aurora for the right for us to be out there, and the Bengals and Warriors led for a good part of Monday into Tuesday. And then as kind of Tuesday became Wednesday, Aurora, Euclid had the lead. And then I would say the last 90 minutes or 2 hours or so, Tyler Carey comes in and tells me, oh yeah, by the way, Warriors and Bengals now in the lead. It was something like 47 to 42%. It was very close. Closer than a presidential election, it felt like. Second and goal out of that timeout as we're back to action from the 8-yard line. Jennings goes in motion. Yarborough rolls right. Throws, pass caught at the 5, and diving to the pylon, in for the touchdown, Benedictine Bengals. And I'm pretty sure that was Kareem Jennings who made that touchdown catch. Absolutely, it was Jennings. From his tight end spot, we had just said he'd just gone in motion. He went in motion right to left and then did a curl back to the right, and a nice throw by Yarborough, his third touchdown pass of the evening, and the Bengals back on top, 19-14 with 1:18 to go here in the third quarter. So that long pass from C.J. Yarborough to Brandon Boyd sets up a touchdown. And the Bengals want to go for 2 and try to take a 7-point lead. Man in motion is Patterson. Yarborough looking right, throws right, and the pass is caught. 2-point conversion in the back of the end zone. And that was Patterson, again, motion man, making the catch, just like the previous play. And Patterson gives Benedictine a 21-14 lead with 1:18 to go here in the third quarter. But a good response drive from the Bengals after they come away with a couple of sacks to thwart the Warriors on offensively. They get that little trickeration pass, and they're able to punch it in for the touchdown. That timeout that Jarrett Good had to take because of the cramping and needing to get one of his players into the game, it was a timeout well spent. It resulted in a touchdown. I don't think you'll be too angry with. Now, tomorrow when you look at the films, you'll probably be a little angry about it, but tonight, and it's nothing you can do. You have a player who cramps up and has to leave the game, and the play clock is ticking, and you have very limited time, and you need all 11 players on the field because you've got to tell the quarterback what the play is. You've got to signal it into him, and then he's got to bark it out. So it's a process that, again, takes 25 seconds, what have you, and unfortunately they had to use the timeout. But they get the touchdown, and it works out all right, as Bell will catch the kickoff at about the 7-yard line. Remember, he's got a touchdown already tonight, but this time he's going to be brought down at the 20-yard line. Good coverage downfield by Julius Robinson, who makes that play. All right, so the Warriors trail again. Back and forth we go. It was Bengals by 13 and then 14 unanswered by the Warriors. And as we head towards the fourth quarter, 1:12 to play here in the third, Benedictine back on top, 21-14. All right, so Matt Nadel and company ready to go. Nadel will have Crenshaw in the backfield with him, and I also believe he's got Trey Bell back there with him as well. On first down, they'll go on the ground. Here comes Bremner, and Bremner broke an initial tackle, crosses the 25, still on his feet, and he'll get a first down out to the 30-yard line. That's a fine piece of running by Justin Bremner. That's why we said earlier, to lose your leading rusher and one of your key players, Will Rumpel is a terrific running back, and to lose him is devastating on so many fronts. But as we've got an official's timeout for a second, and I think it's a chain. I was going to say I thought it was a chain issue, but I see a Bengal sitting down, and I think it might be Bedingfield again, right at the 30-yard line in that cramping mode again. So that'll enable the officials to move the chains, and the officials are going to let everybody hydrate here for a moment. But when you have LaShawn Crenshaw, Justin Bremner, and Jack Romanini you at least feel like you can pick up the slack with those guys. It's hard to play. Talented kids are talented kids, but it's next man up, and they do feel like, the three-headed monster backfield will be able to provide a running spark to go along with Matt Nadel and his core wide receivers. First down as Nadel rolls right, throws right, pass is caught as Marshall's got it at the 35-yard line. And they'll mark it at the 36. And it'll be second down and about 4. 42 seconds to play here in this third quarter. Walsh Jesuit trailing now to Benedictine, 21-14. Matt Nadel ready to go. Low snap, able to pick it up, and then actually it was Bremner who picked it up to his right and had to basically eat the ball back inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line. So that is going to be a loss of about 8 yards. Just on that short shot, that short pistol formation, that snap kind of skidded on the field turf, and Bremner thought, well, maybe I can pick it up and do something with it, and instead lost more yardage. 3rd and 12. Last play of this third quarter. Nadel sets up middle screen. Crenshaw at the 25 and drops the football. He had 3 maroon jerseys lead blocking for him. I don't know if he gets to the 40 for a first down, but he gets awfully close, but thought about running with it instead of catching the football first, and it'll be a 4th down when we come back for the fourth quarter. After 3 here in Cuyahoga Falls at Walsh Jesuit High School, Benedictine 21, Walsh Jesuit 14. C.J. Yarborough has 3 touchdown passes tonight for Benedictine. So it'll be a punting situation here for Walsh Jesuit. We'll get some scores from Tyler Carey here in a moment as we'll see, especially where some of those crazy halftime scores. None crazier, I think, tonight. I see TC's already on demand. I don't know if anybody else is in mid-season form. I'm certainly not tonight. I don't know if the officials are, players are, but Tyler Carey is. Already a final, and this was helped because of the clock rule, I don't call it the mercy rule. I think that's not an appropriate term to use in high school, but the scoring rule. Avon, already a final, beats Brunswick, shutout tonight, 38-0 Eagles. Big win for Mike Elder to start the year. We'll get back to that thought in a second as the punt caught on the run at the 40-yard line, and they'll bring him down at the 45-yard line. That was Boyd on that run back, and Boyd's a little shaken up after that run back. Gets about 6 on that run back, and it'll be 1st and 10 Bengals at that spot. Avon will have a showdown at Medina next week against Drew Aller and the Bees. That will be a treat. Avon Lake leads Strongsville over at Packatan Stadium 17-10. That's in the third quarter. They've moved to the fourth quarter. Hudson on top of Solon 28-20. Nordonia leading Bedford 30-18. That's in the fourth quarter. There's apparently a flag down. And I apologize, I didn't see what the call is, but it looks like they're backing the Bengals up. So one would assume probably some form of a holding penalty. Yes, that will be the case. Rocky River leads Midview 35-24. Pirates think they're going to have a big year this year, by the way. Talk about Rocky River, and our friends over at Cleveland.com ranked the Pirates in the top 25. Matt Gowan Company. Willoughby South leading Notre Dame Cathedral Latin 38-14. That's in the fourth quarter. Aurora leading Euclid 56-21. That's in the fourth. Menor over McKinley 49-7 in the fourth. Those games will start to become final very shortly. On first down, before they even run the play, there was a flag down. They went on the ground, I think, to Jackson, and it's going to be a false start on the Bengals, who keep moving in reverse here after the punt return by Boyd. Looked to have them start near midfield. You had a holding penalty and a false start, and Benedictine's got to start now at their own 25. Yeah, it wasn't a false start. It was an illegal shift. Preliminary said it was a false start, but that's not the case. But when we say teams aren't in midseason form, that's what we talk about with the penalties tonight, and especially on the Bengals side, they've had quite a few. Now, on the flip side, Walsh Jesuits had some turnover issues tonight, so it has not been a clean game for either team in that scenario. Walsh is going to decline that penalty and make it a 2nd and 10 instead of a 1st and 15. After Jackson got no gain on first down. Out of the pistol, Yarbrough at quarterback. Jackson stands behind him, and now he'll move just to the left of him. Yarbrough drops the snap, picks it back up, runs forward for maybe a yard, got something out of it, and then Zach Grogan puts him down there. Yeah, maybe 2 yards. I mean, but we've seen both teams struggle a little bit tonight with that pistol, that short shotgun snap. Sometimes sometimes it's not always, and I don't mean to say that's the center's fault. We've seen drop snaps. It's just one of those things. 11 minutes to play here in the football game. Benedictine leading 21-14. And they've got a 3rd down and 7 at their own 32. Yarbrough, middle screen, pass caught at the 30 to the 33-yard line, maybe the 34. Dwayne Jackson made that catch, but not able to spring himself forward for the first down. And Walsh Jesuit able to get a stop, and they will force a Christian Cora punt. The drive that was not helped from the penalty from the standpoint, before you even start, you got knocked back 10 yards because of the holding on the punt return, and just never kind of seemed to get any kind of gear on that particular drive. Kenyon Marshall in single safety at his own 33-yard line to await the punt from Christian Cora. Really no wind to speak of tonight, as Cora gets the kick away, angles it to the right, and Marshall makes the kick. Yeah, so Marshall made a fair catch. He caught it at the 41 and then started to run with it. Now, official says, nope, you got to hold it there. But pretty good field position for the Warriors. They'll start at their own 41 with 10:04 to go in the football game. WKYC.com's high school football game of the week here. Week 1 is presented by Chick-fil-A, home of the original chicken sandwich. Stop by your nearest Chick-fil-A, Cleveland, Akron, and Canton. And we thank them for jumping on with us as a partner here for our high school football coverage in 2021. Our 4th year of the WKYC.com game of the week. Matt Nadel on first down will turn, give to Roman Nini, I believe that is, and very little running room back to about the line of scrimmage. Actually, that's Bremner, and no room for Bremner to run. Ryan Konechny came over to help finish off the play with James Phillips. 2nd and 10. Nadel the shotgun. 2 men in the backfield, play fake, he wants to throw, deep left side, and it's incomplete. Was trying to throw it to Christian Ochi, but the coverage was perfect down that left sideline from Michael Hatcher. And Hatcher actually had some help back there from Brandon Robinson, who's in there at safety. So that will set up a 3rd and 10. 9:32 to go here in the 4th quarter. Warriors facing a 3rd and 10, down by a touchdown. And we got movement along the lines. Both defensive ends for the Bengals cross the line of scrimmage. So that's a 5-yard penalty, and 3rd and much more manageable now for the Warriors. 3rd and 5 from the Warrior 46. Those little penalties just drive a coach mad. You spent so much time working on watching cadences and holding your ground. Campagna goes in motion. Crenshaw gets the carry. Crenshaw gets the first down to the 40. He's to the 30. Cuts inside to the 20. Still on his feet to the 15 and finally brought down at about the 12-yard line. James Phillips helped to prevent the touchdown by making the contact on LaShawn Crenshaw. But he marches the Warriors down inside the 15. They'll spot it at the Benedictine 14-yard line. It's 42 on that pickup for Crenshaw. DeNatale ready to go, and he'll go on the ground again. I believe that's Romanini inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line. That was Jack Romanini indeed. Warriors, they've had so many opportunities near the red zone. And sooner or later, you got to cash one of these in here. Under 9 minutes to go. They're down by a touchdown. 2nd down and 5 from the Benedictine 9. DeNatale will keep, runs right to about the 6-yard line and put down there about a yard shy of the first down. I saw Luke Reed come over and make that tackle. DeNatale, big guy, 6'1", 175 pounds. And he can absorb the punishment. They'll spot it at the 6, so it's 3rd down, about a yard and a half. Romanini and Crenshaw in the backfield with DeNatale. He'll keep again. He'll run right again. Gets the first down to about the 3-yard line.
Inside the 5.
Simple, easy, effective. 1st and goal. Yeah, nothing fancy. Just let your 6'1" quarterback run. Decide if he wants to keep it or run it, and those last 2 decisions have been good ones. 1st and goal from the 3. DeNatale will go on the ground. It is Crenshaw. He's in. Touchdown, Walsh Jesuit. Well, he helped set up the touchdown with that 42-yard run, and he gets a chance then to cap it off with a 4 and make that a 3-yard touchdown run. 21-20 Benedictine pending the extra point. Deming's made his extra points tonight, but he missed a 24-yard field goal earlier in this game. This to equalize us with under 8 minutes to play. Good snap, good hold, kick up on its way, and we are all tied at 21. Here in the 4th quarter at Walsh Jesuit. Finals, as we surmised, Willoughby South beat Notre Dame Cathedral Latin 44-14. Aurora with an impressive opening night win at Veterans Stadium. They beat Euclid 63-21. And men are over McKinley tonight 49-7. Well, you know, you think about it, it's not quite the same as when Kirtland, we went one of our games of the week last year, we saw Kirtland beat Solon. And that was obviously big, you know, although last year everybody made the playoffs because of COVID and computer points really weren't nearly as important as they're going to be this year. Although, obviously, as we know with high school football, the regions are the playoffs are expanding this year to let more teams in. But that's a big win for Aurora, point-wise, and being a Division I team. And we said this, earlier. Bob Mahalik, I thought last year. They made it to the state semis 2 years ago, but everybody kind of thought maybe that was almost a little bit premature, and they really feel like, last year was Chardon's year, a couple of years ago it was Kenston's year in that Division III. They feel like this might be their year. Little pooch kick, they're trying to angle it left, but it goes out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Trying to catch Benedictine napping there, and just could not keep that ball in bounds. Closest Bengal to the football was Brandon Robinson. And I love the we mentioned it earlier when they kicked it to that direction. Sometimes instead of opening it up and letting Benedictine take one back deep, see if you can angle one. See if you can kind of catch him napping a little bit. Now, the problem is, of course, they'll mark it 5 yards from where the ball went out of bounds. The ball went out of bounds, they're going to say at the 33, and so they're going to mark the ball at the Benedictine 39. That's the only negative. You give your opponent decent field position. We're all tied at 21, 7:49 to go here in the fourth quarter, and the Bengals back on offense here. Well, these two teams went to overtime in the playoffs last year. Benedictine has won the last 7 matchups between these two teams. They lead the all-time series 14-13. Trying to keep that streak going here. From their own 39, Yarbrough ready. Pumping once. He's going to get sacked back at the 28-yard line. Coming in from the blind side. Brock Sherman came in. Nobody saw him. And he delivered a huge shot on C.J. Yarbrough back to the 31-yard line. That's a loss of 8. But sometimes you dial it up, the right call on defense, or you get the right matchup. Nobody had a hat on Brock Sherman, and he delivers a jarring sack. 2nd and 18. Yarbrough from the pistol. Under pressure again. This time he gets away. Steps up, and he's in all kinds of trouble, and he's down back at the 27. Walsh Jesuit's defense really fired up after that last touchdown. Back-to-back sacks of C.J. Yarbrough. That time it was Noah Brock. It was a Brock and a Brock on consecutive plays. And they're both sophomores, by the way. Brock Sherman with the sack on first down. Noah Brock, after all kinds of dancing was done by Yarbrough, makes the sack on 2nd down. It is now 3rd down and Stowe. 3rd and 21. Yarbrough looking left. Throws left at the 35. It's Boyd to the 40, and he'll be brought down at the 42-yard line, about 8 yards shy of the first down. So it'll be 4th and 8 with 6:10 to go in the football game, and Jarrett Good's got to bring in his punt team. And it'll be Marshall in single safety at his own. Well, he started at the 25, and his coach is going to move him up to the 27-yard line. Let's see if Walsh can get some pressure here on this kick. As they'll back off here. Cora, high kick, but it's short. Marshall will have everybody back away for the Warriors, and it took a Benedictine bounce, actually, and it'll be down just around the 39-yard line of the Warriors. And I mean, Nick Alexander pumping his fists right now to the offense, saying, you got the opportunity, let's go. Yes, home crowd here in Cuyahoga Falls, and rally the Warriors here with 5:36 to go in a tie game. A great defensive stand last time, exclamation point type of stand by the Warrior defense. DeNatale ready on 1st and 10. 2 men in the backfield. He'll go to the shotgun. Hands. Goes to, it'll be Crenshaw getting that carry. And Crenshaw will cross the 40. He'll take it out near the 45-yard line. Gets 6 on 1st down. Crenshaw listed 5'7", 160 pounds. I would say probably more like a $145 or a $150. But so hard with the speed to bring down. He let the carry again. He gets the first down and a lot more to the 40. He's to the 35-30. Crenshaw loose to the 15-10, to the 5, and down to the 3-yard line. LaShawn Crenshaw. He can be 180 pounds. He can be 200 pounds. It doesn't matter. All he does is get big plays for the Warriors. It'll be 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. But Crenshaw has had a big 4th quarter for Walsh Jesuit. Got a touchdown on the last drive and that 42-yard run to set it up. And he gets another huge run to set up the Warriors. First and goal at the 3. Benedictine will take a timeout. They will have 1 remaining with 4:59 to play in the game. But knowing here, after another lightning bolt from LaShawn Crenshaw, the defense has got to get resettled here and ready to go. Oh, it has been the LaShawn Crenshaw show here in the fourth quarter. But all that said, this momentum shift, a lot of it was Crenshaw, and the defense then for the Warriors picked up the momentum and had their best stand of the night with a pair of sacks on C.J. Yarbrough. So it's been kind of a collective, but that last drive, Nick Alexander decided, hey, look, let's keep it simple. Let's go to the ground game and let our offensive line do some damage. And we didn't get a chance to talk about it because we got on a little bit late. But there's so much talk about Walsh Jesuit, what they were going to do, because Dave Wollabaugh Jr. is gone and he's now at Kentucky. We know Dave Wollabaugh obviously comes from great lineage with his dad, a former Brown. This offensive line has come to life here in this fourth quarter. On first and goal, they'll go on the ground again. This time it's Romanini. He's in for the touchdown. Jack Romanini takes it in from 3 yards out. And Walsh Jesuit back in the lead, 27-21 with 4:56 to go in the game. Yeah, but Dom Fallon, Dom Bernard, Joey DeAngelis, Tyron Rogers, Nick Khalil, hats off to those 5 guys here in the fourth quarter. They've done a great job on the running game to spring open LaShawn Crenshaw, Jack Romanini, Matt Nadel, the quarterback. He had a couple of key runs on the previous TD drive, and Justin Bremner. Very important extra point for Ryan Deming. Ball is down, kick is up, hits the upright to the right, but falls in. It's good. 28-21, Warriors. Especially even early in the season, special teams are always unpredictable. So that's why I mentioned there, that extra point was so important. You want to get that 7-point edge. So if Benedictine does come down and put a touchdown on the board, Jarrett Good's going to say, okay, do I want to go for the extra point? Or on the road, do I want to go for 2 and try to just win the game outright? But if he misses the extra point, you don't have to make that decision. Then you can just decide to go ahead and kick it. So this crowd here at Walsh Jesuit High School on their feet, especially the students over to my right. They have been on their feet all night. In appreciation here of this rally by the Warriors to retake the lead 28-21. Deming will kick off. I believe that's Boyd back deep to receive at the 15-yard line. All night long, they've tried squibs. They've angled their kicks. What's Deming going to do here? This one, kind of a straight-on kick. Boyd has to pounce on it at the 17-yard line. It was just kind of it wasn't a line drive kick. It had a couple of bounces inside the 30, but it was right at Boyd. It was returnable, but just didn't field it cleanly and ended up having to fall on it at the 18-yard line. So the Bengals are going to have to go 82 yards in 4:55 to try to equalize this thing. And keep in mind, Benedictine is down to just 1 timeout remaining. And it's a great way to start the WKYC.com High School Football Game of the Week Season 4 with a barn burner. As we mentioned, happy to be presented to you this year in 2021 by our friends at Chick-fil-A, home of the original chicken sandwich. From the 18, first down, Yarbrough gives to Jackson. He'll cross the 20 and take it out to the 22-yard line. So it'll be close to 4 on first down, 2nd and 6. Benedictine will have Terrell Greer and Marvin Conkle out wide right, Boyd out wide left. Low snap, Yarbrough picks it up, throws left, Boyd's got it, tries to break the tackle right at the first down marker. It looked like he did, and then as he went down, flags came down from both sides of the field. Yeah, I tell you, I mean, Brandon Boyd, if he trying to break a shoestring tackle, and if he does so, he would have busted it out for a touchdown. But as it is, this looks like it's going to be a significant penalty against Walsh Jesuit for what I would assume might be a late hit, as they're going to march it 15 yards out to the 43-yard line. So that gets Benedictine out of the hole, and they've got a first down now at their own 43. It was a personal foul penalty, to be sure, but it happened right as they were trying to make the tackle, and I think maybe one extra maroon jersey made that tackle, and that was enough for the officials to say, can't do that. Yarbrough to throw, looking long, down the left side, man wide open, but he overshot Boyd at the 30-yard line. It was a mix-up in the coverage back there. I saw Trey Bell trying to run over to get there in time. If that throw is on the mark by Yarbrough, that would have been a 56-yard touchdown pass. But he just overshot Brandon Boyd, 2nd and 10. But a big break there for Walsh Jesuit. They did not have the appropriate coverage on that play. 2nd and 10. And again, you've got Boyd wide left, with a receiver over in the slot, 2 receivers right. Yarbrough will look left, throws left, pass caught at the 50 to the 45. Boyd spins away to the 40, inside the 40, down to about the 30-yard line. Boy, I tell you, hats off to Boyd. He had just run that go route the play before, had to run back to the line of scrimmage, get set, and then he just executed another catch. And I tell you, C.J. Yarbrough wasn't looking anywhere else but Brandon Boyd on that play. Mark it at the 27, 1st and 10 Bengals. Down by 7. In motion is Patterson. They'll go on the ground. Jackson tries to run left to the 25 and inches forward near the 24 for about a gain of 3. 2nd down, 7. Final from Strongsville. The Mustangs fall tonight to the Avon Lake Shoremen, 24-10. Tell you what, I think week 4, Avon Lake and Avon are going to meet. That's always a great game. That one this year might even be, you might run out of superlatives. Both those teams look mighty, mighty good in Division II Region 6. 2nd down and 7. Yarbrough throws left, pass caught Boyd. Boyd to the 15-yard line and a first down as he'll take it to the 13-yard line. Got 12 and another Benedictine first down. Under 3 minutes to go, 4th quarter. And as we said when the drive started, Jarrett Good is going to have to think about what he wants to do here if the Bengals can get another 11 yards. Try to tie with a kick or go for 2 and snag the lead. 2 receivers each side. Yarbrough moves Jackson to his left in the pistol. And again, actually this time now Bedingfield in motion. Jackson again gets the carry inside the 10. On that first down run, he'll take it to the 9-yard line for a pickup of 2. But you can see what the Bengals are doing now. They're taking their own sweet time in limiting the amount of opportunity here for Walsh Jesuit no matter what happens here. 2nd and 8. We approach 2 minutes to play here in the football game. Walsh Jesuit 28, Benedictine 21. Bengals 2nd and 8 at the Walsh 9-yard line. Under center, Yarbrough gives, Jackson spins at the 8 and falls forward near the 7-yard line. Gets 2 more. It will be 3rd and 6. And by the time this play gets run, we're going to have about a minute to go in this football game. Can Walsh come up with another defensive stand here? 1:30 to play in the football game. Warriors by 7, Bengals on the march. 3rd and 6 from the 7 for C.J. Yarbrough and the Bengals. Jackson again, 5 to the 4 to the 3 to the 2. He'll take it down near the 1-yard line. It should be enough for a first down, but not a touchdown. They'll stop the clock to make sure that's a first down. It will be a first down. 1st and goal at the 1 with 1:10 to go. I formation in the backfield. Looked like there's some movement in the backfield. Yarbrough's going to keep it. He'll plunge ahead. Touchdown, Benedictine. C.J. Yarbrough takes it in from a yard out with 1:04 to go, 28-27. Christian Cora is coming into the game. So the Bengals will try to tie it with a kick. But keep in mind something here. C.J. Yarbrough is the holder. You never know. Cora will try to tie it here with 1:04 to go. After the 1-yard run by Yarbrough, and I think we're going to have a timeout for Benedictine. Well, you know what? Jarrett Good might have talked to his coaching staff and said, "Hey, listen, you want to talk about it? Let's really think about this. You know, do we want to try to win it right here, or at least take the lead right here, knowing that Walsh would have 2 timeouts remaining and 1:04 to play with? Or do we want to kick it, take the conservative, and one might argue the smartest approach, put our trust in Christian Cora, let him get the extra point, and we take our chances in overtime," which worked out very well for the Bengals a year ago. Keep something in mind with Christian Cora. He was the punter last year for the Bengals. He was not the place kicker. Ivan Sharon was their place kicker last year. But at this point, Jarrett Good says, let's go for the extra point and try to tie it. But again, keep your eye on the holder. And that holder is C.J. Yarbrough. Ball is down. Kick is up for the tie. It is good. Well, the faith in his kicker is rewarded, and we're tied at 28 with 1:04 to go in regulation. But still plenty of time for Matt Nadel and the Warrior offense. Just gonna, real quick here if I can, I'll say hi to everybody here. I'm Dave DeNatale, happy to have you with us tonight. Our WKYC Game of the Week, if you're just joining us, we've gone back and forth all night, especially here in the second half. It was 14-13 Walsh Jesuit at the half over Benedictine. And we went back and forth. Crenshaw with a touchdown for Walsh Jesuit. Benedictine struck back with a score. Romanini with a touchdown for Walsh Jesuit. I mean, and now Yarbrough with a touchdown. This is so scarily similar to the playoff game these two teams had last year. It's unbelievable. The only difference is, I mean, it was when they went to overtime last year, it was 20-20. It's 28-28. But you know, rallying and two teams going back and forth. This is what we saw in the playoffs last year. So Cora with a very important kickoff, and both Bell and Crenshaw are back deep to receive. We've already seen Bell take a kickback for a touchdown tonight, and Crenshaw has busted open a number of huge runs this evening. Let's see what they do here. I would kick it away from both those guys, and they're going to squib it here, and I think Crenshaw is going to go back and get it at the 17, and he'll fall down at the 19-yard line. Well done by Cora. And with 1:02 to go, let's see what Nick Alexander and the Warriors do here in a 28-all tie. You know, the book says, let's go ahead and play for overtime here. We'll see if that's indeed the case. And then, one of those things that happens sometimes if you get, if you can get a big play to Crenshaw, let's say, and get you near the midfield, that might change your mind here. Crenshaw will get the carry on first down to the 20, and it gets brought down at the 24-yard line. So he gets 6 on that run, clock moving, or 53 seconds to go in regulation, all tied at 28. And quickly now, DeNatale ready on 2nd and 5, but with 45 seconds to go. Looks like they'll go ahead and keep it on the ground again. Again, Crenshaw runs left, and I think he tried. He initially, his instinct was to go out of bounds, and then he said, well, maybe I don't want to go out of bounds. And then he ended up getting knocked out of bounds with 37 seconds to go. No gain on that play as he swept to the left. That's been their bread and butter most of the night, that particular running to that particular side. And I mentioned earlier with the offensive line for Walsh Jesuit, you also got to credit the wide receivers blocking downfield, whether it's Campagna, Oakchi, Marshall. They've done their job. Bell, they've done their job tonight too, as they'll go a quick strike out to the 25-yard line. Marshall on that catch. Now make that Oakchi, I'm sorry. And Christian brought down right at that 25-yard line with 22 seconds to go. That was 3rd down. It's now 4th down. They're looking at the clock here, and they don't have to run another play before the end of the regulation here. And Walsh Jesuit's going to do exactly that. They'll let it run now to the end of regulation, and we will head to overtime in a 28-all tie. 28 apiece here at Walsh Jesuit as we head to overtime. Final, Rocky River beats Midview tonight, 56-24. Midview's another team that has a new coach this year. Tyler Carey and I will have to make a list next week. That'll be maybe our homework assignment before Wednesday. Figure out all the new coaches, or the teams that have new coaches this year. It's a little different. And then, of course, you have, Chuck Kyle still over at, St. Ignatius. Bob Mahalik is still over at Aurora. Mike Elder is still at Avon. Some things never change. Other things do. Tiger Laverty is still at Kirtland. But two teams will head to the 50-yard line here with the captains, and thanks to we're able to show we're not able to show the game per se in terms of highlights, but you're able to kind of take it in with me here and kind of see it from the field area, and you'll be able to see the snap here, or the coin flip I should say. And the captains for the Warriors are talking to Nick Alexander, and a lot of times when you win the toss, you want to go second in overtime because, of course, you want to see what you have to do. If the opposition doesn't score on their offensive possession, then all you need potentially to win is just a field goal. But, of course, if you need a touchdown, then you need a touchdown. So that usually is the preference here. So the captains for the two teams will have to come out here at some point, and I think the officials are trying to rally everybody up here. But it's been good for both teams just to have a break. We've had some cramping for both sides tonight. So I think the officials are, in that respect, allowing both teams to get hydrated a little bit in this overtime break. And officials are talking one side to Jarrett Good, one side to Nick Alexander. And at some point here, we should get some clearance. I'm down watching, by the way, where the captains are. And one of those is Will Rumpel. And, of course, Will, not in uniform, he's in street clothes. Not able to play, unfortunately, because of a knee injury this season. But he's out there with his fellow captains. And now I would imagine they'll let you out for pregame. I don't know if they'll let you out if you're in street clothes for the coin flip for postgame here. And now I think we're ready to go here with the flip. They should. Yeah, it's high school football. Come on. Young man's not getting a chance to play out there for his senior year. As a matter of fact, I think they're just going to have one player for each side here. And I think it's going to be Bedingfield for Benedictine and DeNatale for Walsh Jesuit. 28-all as we head into overtime period number 1. And again, the rules of high school overtime, very simple. Each team gets a shot with the football from the 25-yard line. Each team gets the same amount of points, or no points for that matter, on their offensive drives. We go to the second overtime and keep playing until somebody edges them out. All right, so Bedingfield, the captain for the Bengals, DeNatale for Walsh Jesuit. And it looks like, do we actually have a flip here? This is like the longest overtime coin flip I can ever remember. And it looks like the Warriors won the toss. And I would imagine that will mean the Bengals will be up first. All right, so one more scores here, I think, from Tyler Carey. Hudson held off Solon tonight, 49-35. Brian Wisniewski's first game as the head coach of the Comets, after a tremendous career for Jim McQuaid, and really one of the great guys of high school football and high school sports. He's still the athletic director over for the Comets, but the Explorers get the win tonight. 403 yards rushing tonight for Hudson. This is, just kind of thinking about it down here. This might be your hotbed of the year for high school football, the way things are going. Between Hoban and Akron, Walsh Jesuit, Stowe, Hudson, Nordonia. You kind of come down Route 8 and you head into Akron. You're coming by some good football here in 2021. All right, so Bengals will start. I apologize, they actually start from the 20, not the 25. I think it's the 25 in college. And Yarborough ready to go. As we begin overtime, 1st and 10. Yarborough looks right, throws right, pass caught. That's Conkle with the catch. And he spins out of a would-be tackler and takes it down to about the 16-yard line. Just inside the 17, near the 16. So give him close to 4 on that pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Yeah, Aiden Lau tonight, 301 yards rushing for the Explorers and 5 touchdowns. Wow. 2nd and 6 for the Bengals as we begin this overtime. And Jackson will get the carry. Kind of picks and weaves his way inside the 15 to the 14. Short yardage there. And it will be 3rd down and 4. It's interesting. We've seen, after both teams were very, very much pass happy for the first 3 quarters, it really has been a lot of emphasis on running towards the end of the game. 3rd and 4, low snap. Yarborough picks it up, throws left side. It's incomplete. He was looking for Brandon Boyd at the 6-yard line. Campagna was over there on the coverage. The problem was that low snap and the problem picking it up disrupted the time of the play. And now it's 4th and 4. And Jarrett Good's got to figure out here, do you want to bring in Cora for a field goal attempt or go for it here? If you go for the field goal, it's roughly about a 31-yard attempt. Maybe a 30-yard attempt to be fair. Or you go for it on 4th and 4, and if you don't get it, then you're really going to need your defense to come up with something. Overtime here at Walsh Jesuit High School in our WKYC.com Game of the Week. Presented by Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, the home of the original chicken sandwich. Happy to have you with us tonight as we start our 4th year of the Game of the Week. Remember, every Monday, I should say, we put it out there. Give you 3 games to vote on at WKYC.com. You can find the link as well on Twitter, on Facebook. Wednesday, voting closes. We'll let you know who wins. Tyler Carey and I will have our preview show, and then I'll be somewhere next Friday. You get to decide. And as far as decisions go, Jarrett Good says, I'm going to leave my offense on the field here. Pistol look. That short shotgun for Yarbrough with Jackson standing directly behind him. 4 wide receivers, including Bedingfield in a slot on the left. Got to get to the 10 to keep this drive going. Play clock down to 13. As they get a different play in now from the sideline. Play clock is at 5. They got to hurry. Play clock at 4 to 2 to 1. They just get it off. 4th and 4. And he's going to keep it and be brought down. Yarbrough just shy of the 10-yard line. Just all kinds of confusion. They just never were comfortable after taking a timeout to get that play off. And you know, C.J. Yarbrough is a good athlete. He has a touchdown in this game running. He's thrown 3 touchdowns, but I'm just surprised that's the play you want to run on 4th and 4. But because it appeared to almost be a busted play. But now Walsh Jesuit, any points will win. Touchdown wins, field goal wins. They will start from the 20. Walsh looking to go 1-0. They are looking to end a 7-game losing skid to the Bengals and equalize the all-time series between these two parochial rivals at 14 apiece. Bell out wide right. Marshall slot right. Ochi goes wide left. 2 in the backfield with Matt Nadel from the 20. In this overtime period, fake handoff. Nadel looks, end zone for Ochi. He made the catch, but it was out of bounds, incomplete. Oh, trying to go for 6 right, and the win right there. And Ochi just could not. He had 2 defenders with him, made a great catch, just could not get a foot down in bounds. 2nd and 10 from the 20. Same look. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. On the ground this time is Crenshaw, and he'll be wrestled down at the 18 for a short gain. Ryan Konechny on the stop. 3rd, and they give Crenshaw only a gain of 1 there. 3rd and 9, and LaShawn running off the field a little gingerly. You've got Campagna, Marshall, and Bell all wide right. Ochi wide left. Romanini stands to the right of quarterback Matt Nadel. 3rd and 9 from the 19 of Benedictine. Nadel being blitzed, throws over the middle. Pass is intercepted. Pass is intercepted, and I think that was Kareem Jennings going back in coverage who made the pick. It was indeed. Jennings has had a huge game tonight. Caught a touchdown earlier. He's had a sack and now an interception. And we head to overtime number 2. Both defenses come up large to start overtime. Well, now we go opposite here, and it's Walsh Jesuit who will have to start first. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, this is kind of a theme we had though in this earlier in the game. The team certainly executed better in the red zone in the 4th quarter, but we saw missed opportunities both sides during the course of this game. So 2 teams will be back on the field here, and I think the officials are getting Well, now it won't be DeNatale as the captain. Benningfield's in there with Casey Kish, and it's a reminder. Okay, guys, we're in overtime number 2, and now Walsh Jesuit will start first. I think we all knew that, but remedial. It's first game of the year. Why not? Overtime here at Walsh Jesuit. You don't script game of the week to start seasons like this. Overtime period, and 2 great teams, 2 proud traditions, 2 rivals who met each other in the playoffs last year, and who both have aspirations to not just be good teams this year, but to contend for the Division II state crown. That's how you want to start a season. Another final from Tyler Carey. Nordonia, the Knights get the win over Bedford tonight, 47-18. You just had a good night tonight if you're sailing. You're kind of going down Route 8. I mean, you kind of start up in Nordonia over that Macedonia area. Knights get a win. You come down, along Route 8. Hudson got a big win tonight. This game here between Walsh Jesuit and Benedictine's been a barn burner. I mean, that's not bad for this corridor of Summit County. Not bad. All right. Warriors back on offense after that interception to start the second overtime period. And DeNatale on first down. On the ground, here's Romanini to the 15, and Jack will take it down inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line, where it will be 2nd and 3. Trying to look down and see if I could see if they're tending to Sean Crenshaw. He's not in there right now. Kish is in there as the other running back, along with Romanini. You got men in motion, you got movement all along. A lot of white jerseys move, and Benedictine again drawn off sides, and it will be a first down for the Warriors to the 8-yard line, 1st and goal. So just, with a man in motion, I think you're watching from either your outside linebacker or your defensive end spot, and you get jumpy. And we've seen that happen 2 or 3 times tonight. 1st and goal. DeNatale turns, goes to Romanini, hurdles over a couple of would-be tacklers, and takes it inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line.
2nd and goal.
I don't know if Jack Romanini is a high jumper, but he looked like it on that play. 2nd and goal. Kish stands to the left, the quarterback Matt DeNatale. Romanini to the right. Late sub in for Benedictine. They'll go to Romanini again, and the officials blow it dead. And they're going to say offsides against the Bengals. So they'll move it a little bit closer.
Offside.
Yeah, it's the 2nd time we've seen that tonight. I don't know. I don't think it was because of an injury, but just a late man checking in for the Bengal defense. And you end up having an offsides there. So they'll move it now to just inside the 2 towards the 1. 2nd and goal from there. The give. Romanini was initially stood up, but then he's able to plow in for the touchdown. Determined, tough running by Jack Romanini. He takes it in for his 2nd touchdown of the game to put Walsh Jesuit back on top, 34-28 here in double overtime. Well, after the interception on the previous overtime drive, Walsh went back to the basics, and Jack Romanini took it in for the touchdown. Important extra point now for Ryan Deming. And the kick is blocked. Kick is blocked. And that will keep it 34-28 Bengals trailing by 6, but an opportunity for a touchdown and an extra point to win it in double overtime. Jack Romanini for the moment puts Walsh ahead 34-28. And now the Bengals will take over at the 20. They must get a touchdown to keep the game alive. Any extra point will give them the victory. So Jarrett Good and his offensive coaching staff will talk to C.J. Yarborough and company. We'll see here on this drive. They've been and have the Bengals, again, you're in the red zone. It restricts sometimes what you can do, especially if you're kind of running that air raid type offense. But let's see if they go back to Brandon Boyd on the outside receiver spot and go back to the outside a little bit. They've been kind of hammering in the middle with Dwayne Jackson over the last couple of possessions. Crowd on their feet here at Walsh Jesuit. Warriors leading 34-28 in double overtime. Benedictine with their opportunity now. 1st and 10 from the 20. Yarborough looks left, throws left. Rolling catch is made at the 14-yard line by the aforementioned Brandon Boyd. Give him 6. Actually, they'll mark it at the 15. I apologize. Give him 5. 2nd and 5. But you just kind of felt like, as the ball goes to the left hash, that there was room on that side. Now there's room on the right side, and let's see if Conkle or Greer gets a look. 2nd and 5. Jackson to the left, the quarterback C.J. Yarborough. Yarborough looks to throw, lofts one left, end zone, caught, and it is touchdown Benedictine. Brandon Boyd on the touchdown catch to tie the game at 34, pending the extra point. 4th touchdown pass of the game for quarterback C.J. Yarborough. None prettier than that one. All right, back-to-back throws to Brandon Boyd. One kind of got them in motion there, and then the second one from 15 yards out ties the game. Christian Cora can win it right here with an extra point. Otherwise, we have another overtime here. Timeout. Benedictine. Now, in this case, I don't think they're talking about going for 2. I think they're making sure everybody knows the count, make sure everybody's on the same page, no mistakes. An extra point will win it here, and I understand fans are frustrated, or fans are excited maybe to get to the cars and beat the rush out here, but I'm watching some fans to my left already walking out, and it's like, wait a minute. You never know here, folks. If I would like to put a stop sign there and say, don't leave yet. You never know. A block, a miss could always happen. All right. So out of the timeout, Christian Cora, off the hold of C.J. Yarborough, will try to give Benedictine the victory. Here we go. Now they're going to ice. Walsh Jesuit will take the timeout and ice him. I almost wonder if that was why Jarrett Good took the timeout earlier, to say, okay, coach, if I take a timeout, then I'm not icing my kicker. Well, now the chess match will go back and forth, and now we'll take the helmets off, and we'll have another conversation here, and we'll make Christian Cora think about it a little bit more. Cora has missed an extra point tonight, and as we just saw a few minutes ago, why we have as much suspense and potentially the winning point here is because Deming's extra point for Walsh Jesuit was blocked after the touchdown run by Romanini. Nothing is guaranteed here. All right. Everybody's out. Ready to go. Cora will either kick his team to victory or we head to a third overtime. Here we go. High snap. Ball pulled down. Kick is blocked. And there's a flag down, though. Hang on. False start, Bengals. I think that false start Warriors. I apologize. Wait, hold on a second. False start would be on the Bengals. I apologize. Hang on. I would think that doesn't count, and Benedictine will get another shot here. Yes. Hold the phone. But that's why you don't leave, folks. Don't leave. All right. So now Yarborough will put it down at the 15-yard line, so this is going to be a 25-yard extra point for Christian Cora. For the win. Good snap this time. The kick is up, on its way. It is good! Benedictine wins it. Christian Cora connects on the extra point. And the Bengals, for the 8th straight time, have beaten the Walsh Jesuit Warriors in this matchup. 35-34 is your final. Wow. What a tremendous football game. Wow. And it came down for the second year in a row, the second matchup in a row with these two teams. It came down to overtime, or in this case, it came down to double overtime. And in large part, it came down to the little things. A missed extra point, or in Walsh Jesuit's case, it was a blocked extra point. But I would imagine both teams, as you can see now, the two teams will greet each other at the 50-yard line. The missed opportunities in this game will really come back and make, I think, the Warriors think about things a little bit. That perhaps this was a game that could have and should have been won in regulation, and that was the case when they played last year as well. It's those opportunities that you have to seize late in ball games, and in this case, Benedictine, after being down 28-21 with just under 5 minutes to go, put together a game-tying drive. And I actually, to be honest, I was frankly surprised that they didn't go for two to try to win it before overtime. But, feeling that, hey, listen, we like our defense. We like Christian Cora. Let's go ahead and let's tie it. Cora tied it. We went into overtime, and neither team scored in the first overtime period, but it was Walsh Jesuit getting a touchdown in the second overtime period, but the extra point was blocked. Benedictine, their extra point, although it got taken back 5 extra yards, was good. And by a 1-point margin, Benedictine wins tonight 35-34. So a tremendous way for us to start the 2021 WKYC.com high school football game of the week. We will be back with you next Friday night at a site to be determined. You can vote on said site on Monday. We'll have the poll out for you. Probably, it's usually around noon or so on Monday. We give you 3 games to vote on. Usually try to kind of do an east side game, a west side game, and maybe a Summit County game or a Medina County game. We try to get all areas covered as much as we can, and we let you vote on it at WKYC.com. You have until Wednesday to vote. Wednesday afternoon, Tyler and I will have the preview show at WKYC.com. We'll let you know where we're going to go, also on YouTube. And then next Friday, we will be at a destination to be named later. It should be either case. In any of the cases, it will be a great matchup. A couple of the teams that we're looking at for next week with impressive opening night wins. So that will be next week's mission. But for tonight anyway, the Bendictine Bengals. And you can see now here, before we sign off, they come to the 50-yard line with the flag and put the flag down at the logo. And that's going to be something that I guarantee will be remembered. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that's something that's going to be remembered by the Warriors, I think, going forward. But when you've beaten a team 8 times in a row and you have a win that you feel good about in double overtime, you have a moment like that. And, we saw Baker Mayfield do that at Ohio Stadium. And the only way to stop that is to beat the opposition. Didn't happen tonight for the Warriors, but somewhere along the line, maybe in the postseason, we could see a rematch with these two teams. I would not be shocked a bit. They're both very, very talented. All right, that's going to do it for us tonight as far as we're concerned with this game. We'll be back with you again next Friday for our next WKYC.com high school football game of the week. Again, vote starting on Monday. For Tyler Carey, for Brian Crane, for Chris Kuntz, Matt Hine, Denise Pulverine, and a cast of thousands, and also for our friends and new partners at Chick-fil-A. Remember, Chick-fil-A is our sponsor of the WKYC.com high school football game of the week. Chick-fil-A, the home of the original chicken sandwich. I am Dave DeNatale. I'll give you a little... There we go. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dave DeNatale. Thanks so much for watching and listening tonight. Again, your final in double overtime. It was Benedictine 35 and Walsh Jesuit 34. Good night, everyone.